Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Waiza Rafiq and I am here again with another important video regarding Chevening scholarship. Today we are going to talk about leadership essay in the application process. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe. If you're an old subscriber, thank you very much for visiting my channel again. So, about the leadership essay. Before I start, I would want to just mention that none of the views expressed in this video are coming from Chevening or any sources related to Chevening. They are just based on my personal experiences and experiences taken from the other scholars. So, a lot of people think that leadership essay has to have some very big examples of leadership, big impact or big change that you have brought in lives of thousands of people. Well, if you have done that, great. But out of my experience, I would want to tell you that Chevening is looking for clarity of approach when you articulate your examples. No matter how small a gesture you have done, no matter how small an effort was that you did for people in your area or maybe for one person only, if it has brought the required outcomes, if it has come up with an impact in the society, and by impact in the society I do not mean impact at massive level, even if it was able to change one life, it is a good example to go. But what you need to really focus on is that how you communicate that example, how you put that example into words, and how you fit in your examples within the scale of STAR approach. I will talk about STAR approach later in this video as well, but one thing that needs to be clarified to a lot of applicants and people who aspire to win Chevening scholarship is that you don't have to have big achievements or big examples in terms of leadership or even in terms of networking or general in your life. It is how you communicate your examples and how clear you are about your own life goals. So there is nothing big or small. There is no achievement that is big or small. It is just the clarity of approach that matters. Your application, your essays should be very clear and should communicate your thoughts and your ideas very clearly and should be convincing enough to grasp the attention of the reader. By clarity, again, I would want to specify that it does not have to be written in fancy English. You can use very simple, plain English vocabulary, but it needs to be correct. And whatever examples you think you have in your life, whatever scenarios that you came across and you tried to play your role in those scenarios in order to bring some positive change around you, are good examples to put in your leadership essays as long as you put them and explain them rightly within the parameters of STAR approach. What is STAR approach? Well, a lot of literature again is available on STAR approach, but just for the sake of understanding, I would want to quickly talk about STAR approach. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. What was the situation? What was the task that you were supposed to do? What action did you take? And what result did it produce? This should be the sequence or structure of your examples, whether they are in your leadership essay or in your networking essay. I'll talk about networking essay in another video of mine, but for the time being, since we're discussing leadership essay. So yeah, if you think that you played a leadership role and you demonstrated your leadership skills in a particular scenario, you have to give at least 2 examples. Well, again, I'm mentioning at least 2 examples out of my own experience. Chevening does not require you to mention any specific number. You can even mention 1 or 4 or as many examples as you want, but 2 examples is a decent good number to mention in your essay and fit into 500 words. So yeah, 2 examples mentioning that this was the situation, this was the scenario, and this was the task which was supposed to be done. And in this scenario, this particular action was taken by you, which subsequently produced these results. And because of these results, this social impact was created. This is a clear cut case of how you demonstrated your leadership skills, and this is what Chevening is actually looking for. Chevening, in my opinion, is not looking for change that you brought at maybe state level or at global level or at a bigger level. If you have done that, great. But even if you have not done that, even if you have brought change in one life, and you know that this was your leadership, this was because of your leadership skills, and you know how to put them into words, put that example into words, I think this is equally important as an example that has brought change at massive level, because you need to communicate your example correctly and in an appropriate manner. This is what matters the most. So this is one thing that I would specifically want to mention about leadership essay. A lot of people, because I am reviewing essays these days as well, so a lot of people come up in essays telling generally about what leadership is, and right from their school level till their university and their job, how they have been leaders, and they just jot down all the achievements and all the certifications that they have done throughout their life. But that is not required by Chevening at this stage. What is required is just one or two or maximum three basic examples, situation based real life examples, where you demonstrated your leadership skills, and that is it. You don't have to narrate the entire story of your life telling that you were leader in this scenario, you won this certificate, you were heading this society, you were doing this, you did that. Good enough. But for this essay, for this 500 words essay, you have to mention your examples, keeping the star approach in view, and clearly narrating the story of your two examples or three examples or four examples, as many as you want, but keep in mind the word limit. So this is something very important that I wanted to specifically share with my audience, and particularly with people who want to apply for Chevening scholarship.